Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Seller Board Show. I'm your host, Vladdy Gordon, and today I'm joined by Ben Donovan. Ben is a UK-based Amazon seller selling in UK, all over Europe, and also in the US. He's a private label seller, and he shared some details about selling in the UK market. We talked about reviews and the market size, different niches in UK, but the main part of the conversation was about launching through Facebook. So Ben has a strategy how to launch products through Facebook using offer ads, which basically are ads that on Facebook that have a mechanism to distribute your discount codes, coupon codes. And I think that's a very interesting strategy because it will help you build your own list, which makes subsequent launches cheaper, and it doesn't depend on any third-party tools whatsoever. So you only need your Seller Central and Facebook for this. So I hope you like it. Please subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and let me know what you think in the comments. Before we start, I'd like to mention our sponsor. Sellerboard.com is a profit analytics tool built specifically for Amazon sellers, and we're on a mission to build the world's most precise profit analytics tool. There's a free trial, free 1-month trial. Just go to sellerboard.com or follow the link below and check out our dashboard and our other functionality. And now let's start the show. My today's guest is Ben Donovan. Hello, Ben. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Vladdy. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. So, Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm an English lad. I was born in England, raised in England, and I live in Manchester now, in the north of England, where the best football team in the world play, Manchester United, that is. So I've been running different businesses for a long time. I started my first business at school when I was 11 years old, and just selling pens to my friends. So
Nice.
started small, but had that entrepreneurial spirit for a long time, and then I became a real estate agent coming out of school, and just kind of got sick of working for someone else in the end. So just started a wider range of different businesses, trying to find a sweet spot, and then a few years ago found Amazon FBA, and just haven't really looked back since.
So how did you find it? Were you like watching podcasts or?
Yeah, I was watching YouTube videos, funnily enough, good old YouTube, because I started my own t-shirt company. I'm actually 6'7", and so I struggled to find like t-shirts that fit. So I started this t-shirt company for tall guys, and so I was sort of looking on YouTube how to do Facebook advertising, how to run an e-commerce store, and then I came across some videos about Amazon FBA, and just loved the whole concept, the principle, because I was still shipping my own orders out into the post office every day, and so then I heard about Amazon FBA, and I was just super excited and never looked back.
That's interesting. So how did you sell those t-shirts actually? Through your own website or eBay or something?
Yeah, our own website, Shopify, through the Shopify platform, and then we sort of explored eBay and also explored Amazon as well. So
Are you still selling those t-shirts?
I would put it on pause at the moment. Its plan is to start that project again soon, because I was so naive about e-commerce. I didn't know what I was doing, and especially the sourcing side of it from China. I just shudder when I think of how we did that. We paid all of the order up front. We didn't get an inspection, and just stupid stuff. So now we've learned a lot, and I feel like we can create a really good product. It's something that I want to look at again in the future. So
interesting. So tell me, are you like focused on private label on Amazon, or are you doing any other stuff as well?
Yeah, just private label. We've got a few different private label brands that really do consume sort of really a lot of the time that we want to give to it. So we've looked at sort of wholesale stuff as well, just to add to another string to the bow. And it's certainly something I'd probably like to do, just when we've got time, I think.
Okay. And I've seen that you have a channel. Are you talking about your numbers on the channel, like about your sales per year or something like this?
Yeah, try not to make it like the number one sort of leading conversation, because I think there's a
Hmm.
lot of people out there that
Hmm.
just put numbers out that are quite empty.
Hmm.
Numbers can easily be
Hmm.
manipulated, photoshopped. They can easily be, yeah. There's a lot more behind the numbers. I think that's
Hmm.
important.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to lead with my channel. The value is based in the
Hmm.
knowledge and content, and
Okay.
but I've done some videos where I've shown, like our first year of sales was like £250,000
Hmm.
UK pounds.
Okay.
Some PPC campaigns that have done six figures. So like I've shown that in my channel. So it's not that I'm shying away from it. I just trying to not make that the number one thing.
Okay. So you're definitely a full-time seller, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about UK. To be honest, I've never had anybody from UK on this channel yet. So um, tell us about selling in UK. How is it like different from the US?
I mean, the big thing is competition. I think a lot of people talk about volume. The US is like so much volume, and if you get sort of one product right, you can become rich from that. And whilst that there's a very tiny percentage of that is true,
Hmm.
I think a lot of people struggle with the competition now in the US, especially for new sellers trying to come into the US market,
Hmm.
with so many people coming into that market, learning how to sell using all the same product research software tools. It's very, very hard, I've found, for
Hmm.
new people to get started in the US. And so for me, that's why the UK, that's why I love it. That's why I teach it. That's why I encourage people to look at it, because it's a really open market. There's so much opportunity, and whilst the volume is a little bit less,
Hmm.
it's still it's still
Hmm.
capable of doing big numbers. So
Do you think like how much smaller is the market in the UK? So if we have like a I don't know a BSR, or probably it's hard to talk about the numbers, but if we like pick a product, something very standard like a jump rope, if it's selling like let's say 100 a day in the US, what would it be in the UK?
100 in a day in the US, I tend to find it would be around about probably 30 in the UK.
Okay, so that's like one third. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, obviously it varies from product to product, but
Hmm.
I mean, Amazon just hit 15 million Prime members in the UK the
Hmm.
other day. It was sort of announced. So obviously it's some way off again the US, but still that's a quarter of the population in the UK. So
Hmm.
it's a highly sort of
Wow.
brand aware market. People do love Amazon here. So
Yeah. Okay, so would you like when sourcing products, would you recommend going deep into the niches or picking like products where you basically um, want to target the first page by the main keyword, like jump rope? Or would you rather go like to jump rope for dogs or something like this?
I think that all depends on your budget,
Mhm.
your plans to how quickly you want to scale, etc. I mean, usually what I would teach to people that are beginning is do start by sort of diving deeper into that niche and looking at something, more longer tail keywords to target initially, just because it's, it is obviously a little bit cheaper, so you can get started on a lower budget. But
Mhm.
also, as you target sort of those wider, longer keywords, you can then build up towards those and have a more likely chance of
Mhm.
sticking. I think a lot of people shoot for those high traffic keywords early on, but
Mhm.
don't maybe have the sales history or the
Yeah.
reviews. That kind of thing to stick when they get there, and it can end up wasting a lot of money when if they target some longer tail keywords, and you could even spend the same amount of money but just target 10 instead of one, and
Mhm.
build that up over time where you can stick, and then as reviews come in and sales history comes in, go after the bigger ones after that, I would say.
Mhm. Okay, and with respect to like product research, is there any
Mhm.
fundamental difference um, to to the other markets that you see, or is it like pretty much same methodology like BSR and market intelligence tools and
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all of the same tools still apply the same principles. You want to look
Mhm.
for products with the right amount of demand and the right amount of competition. But I mean, the power of the UK, and the thing that I love, and why I really encourage people to look at it, is because you can take in what is in the UK like maybe a medium demand, or even sometimes a low demand product with low competition, and because of the fulfillment network with Europe, and in reality you've got also obviously Germany, France, Spain, and Italy,
Yeah.
which combine those marketplaces are almost as big as the US anyway. And from you would know of, and many of your viewers I'm sure would know, but you can store your products in one of those countries and ship to all of them from that country. And so that then makes what is in one marketplace maybe not particularly attractive. When you combine all of them, you have this quite attractive proposition, and the competition can be really low. So,
So we were recording this in March 2019 before Brexit, right?
Right. Yes.
So, by the way, do you think this will change? Obviously, this will change, like the way the EFN works, right?
Yeah, it's so hard to say. I mean, I was just reading this morning on one of the sort of email things I get, like a finance email, that just about even right now in these last couple of days, the changes that are happening, and obviously that's politics, so we won't get too much into it. But whether Brexit will even happen, I mean, I tend to believe it still will, but there's a chance that it might not, but then we don't know what it looks like. So it's one of those things that I think, the biggest thing that I've realised is that, the Chinese sellers that sell on the European marketplaces have no problem competing. And so, worst case scenario for us as Europeans, selling into other European marketplaces is going to be just the same as the Chinese sellers, and they do perfectly fine at it. So they have no problem. So I'm an optimist, though. I think there's pessimists that will say it'll be the end, and I can't sell in Europe anymore. And I don't think Amazon will allow that to happen. Amazon are totally dependent on their third-party sellers, so there will be a way, I'm sure.
Okay, so let's talk about launching and reviews. Like, I know that in Germany, I have myself experience in selling in Germany. I used to sell private label in Germany, so I know that in terms of reviews, there are, first of all, way less reviews than on Amazon.com. And the main reason, I believe, is because Germans tend to leave way less reviews than Americans, and they are much more critical. So if you're getting like a review, one review per 100 sold products in the US, it's rather one out of 1,000 in Germany, and probably it can also be a good review. I don't want to be too negative, but it might very well be a negative one. So how's this in the UK?
Better, yeah, definitely. It's nowhere near as hard as Germany. I mean, one of our just trying to think of an example product. One of our sort of more popular products in the UK has, I think, maybe 160 reviews now. Where in Germany it's only around 30. And it would do a similar volume in both countries. So that shows you the sort of difference in number. And you're right; it's definitely more critical in Germany. I think Germans, expect a 5-star product. If it's 5 stars, why leave a review? That's what I expect. Whereas if it's less than 5 stars, they'll rush to leave a review. So I think it is definitely different, much easier in the UK. It's definitely easier.
Okay, and like, how do you get initial reviews? Is it are there some launch clubs, or I don't know, Facebook groups? How do you get the first 5 reviews or so?
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly do that, and the last thing I want to do is encourage people to do things against Amazon's terms of service. I think there are still a lot of people that are doing Facebook groups and friendship circles, and there's a lot of scaremongering out there that Amazon will shut your account down if you get one friend that your friend was with on Facebook to buy your product and leave a review. And I haven't personally experienced that, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to encourage anyone to do anything that's against the terms of service. But I think there are a lot of legitimate ways to get reviews out there, so that you don't need to go against the terms of service, really, because I think there are clever ways within terms of service that you can do that.
That's very cool. I'm gonna definitely ask a couple of detailed questions about that. But before we get into that, I have a couple of more about selling in UK. So obviously there's VAT, right? Can you talk a little bit about VAT? What does it mean for a seller? How to deal with VAT?
Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible thing. It's, I mean, obviously it depends on whether you are like a UK resident.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a UK citizen, you actually don't have to pay VAT on sales until you hit £85,000 in a 12-month
Mm-hmm.
period, which is a great advantage if you're a UK. Again, I see people in the UK that get told by Amazon gurus that they should sell in the US, and I'm just like, wow, you got £85,000 of advantage over
Mm-hmm.
non-UK competition.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell without having to pay that 20% to the government.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not as quite as cut and dry as that, because before you are VAT registered as a company, you have to, and what a lot of people don't tell you is you have to pay VAT on your Amazon fees. That's your
Mm-hmm.
fulfillment fees, your storage fees, it's your all of your fees, even PPC,
Mm-hmm.
and you also have to pay VAT when importing goods to the UK from
Yep.
overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not quite, VAT is 20% on your sales figures, your sales revenue. And so it's not quite, the full 20% hit, because you then, once you start paying it, you don't have to then, you can claim that other VAT back. So it's,
Yeah.
it's around about sort of probably 11 or 12% of difference. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not quite as as harmful as sort of people think when you have to register for VAT, but it is something you just have to be aware for. But the reality is, obviously, everyone's on an even playing field, apart from sometimes Chinese sellers, which Amazon are trying to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got to do the same thing, and you just price your products accordingly.
Yeah. And how, what's the procedure of getting VAT registered and actually submitting all those VAT documents?
Yeah, it's you can make it as easy as you like. Obviously, like anything, the easier you want it, the more expensive it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
The more work that you do on your end, the cheaper it can be. So in terms of the UK, I still our team sort of does ours in house. We just use like an accounting software, and we can do the VAT returns from that. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's super easy.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of Europe, that's something that we outsource, and you can actually, Amazon have got people that they recommend. And when actually,
Mm-hmm.
when you're starting, you're probably aware of it again, but they actually offer sort of lots of incentives to get people sort of VAT registered across Europe. So
Mm-hmm.
it's something well worth
So,
checking out.
okay, you get basically a company who handles this all for you. All right. So let's talk about launching then. I saw an interesting video on your channel, which we'll link in the show notes as well. It's about launching products with Facebook, so basically getting reviews, right?
Mm.
So I know it's a kind of a step-by-step instruction, and if you guys wanna see it in detail, then click the link below in the description. But can you walk us through this process, like step by step, and let's discuss every step? How does it work?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think Facebook is a great option for launching products. For a number of reasons. It's Amazon love it. They love external traffic coming to their website. Their algorithm seems to really respond well when you send people to Amazon that weren't previously on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
to buy a product. Because they of course want to increase their market share.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to, I don't have any, statistical data to prove that, but it just from a lot of, from what a lot of people say, and from my own personal testing, it seems to work really well. So there's
Mm-hmm.
that. I think it's a lot can work out. Well, it does work out a lot cheaper than if you were to use a launch service.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, depending on how you set it up, you also get to gather a lot of customer data. And
Mm-hmm.
customers, like build a customer base that you can then
Mm-hmm.
contact in the future. So I think it's great for those reasons. And then your goals with the Facebook advertising to launch your product, it depends on the strategy that you might take.
Mm-hmm.
If it's for simple volume and ranking your product, and you're not worried about reviews or building a customer base, then the video that you mentioned that will be in the description is the
Mm-hmm.
best way to start, because that is, the more simple setup option, which is just to, get discount codes from your Amazon Seller Central, and then run an offer ad on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, and for a percentage off of your product, and you can actually upload all of the single-use discount codes into the Facebook offer
Mm-hmm.
system, that they distribute them for you. And there's a few ways that you can control sort of roughly how many you give away. You can also target them with a like a targeted URL for keyword ranking.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you want to sort of build a customer base and to build your database of people you can go to ask for reviews, there's a couple of other steps you need to take, such as sort of collecting emails and that kind of thing.
Oh, by the way, one question about asking for reviews. Is it allowed to ask for reviews through the Seller Central in the UK? Because in Germany,
Yeah.
it's spam. In Germany, there's a law which requires every customer to opt in for for marketing emails, and they view the request for a review as a marketing email because this helps the seller sell more or less. But it's
Sure.
no problem in the UK, right?
No problem. Yeah, they can opt out, but they don't have to opt in.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so let's talk about this Facebook offer ad. So basically what we can do is, if I got you correctly, we can set up a campaign on Facebook and basically distribute coupon codes through Facebook so that the customers buy the product at a discount.
Yeah.
And this helps you launch, and afterwards I guess you can use an email campaign tool to mail them and ask for reviews, or even use some additional steps within Facebook to connect to them through Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you can use. Sorry, go on.
so let's start with this Facebook offer ads part. We just want to distribute coupon codes and give our product a little bit of a boost. And if we use a filter URL or something like this, or a storefront URL, then it will also help us rank, right?
Yeah.
So what's the Facebook offer ad basically?
So this is just something Facebook have created for companies to be able to push offers through the Facebook platform, and it's sort of redeemable through Facebook. Obviously, Facebook in recent years have really tried to push their whole shopping. You can actually shop on Facebook. There's the Facebook Marketplace. There's you can actually have storefronts for your brand on Facebook, and so they're really trying to push this idea. Offers is just something that I think they see as helping with that, but just because of the unique properties of it, in that you can, put in a custom link, that specific link that you want people to go to, the fact that they can distribute the coupon codes for you, the fact that you can limit the amount of coupons that are distributed, so you can have, some sense of control over it. All of these factors together just make it, a great option. So it's very similar to a normal ad, but it just has that functionality of claiming a code, really.
Okay, so basically, what do I need to do to set it up? Is there like an ad manager or something?
Yeah. So you got your Facebook ad manager. Yeah, I mean, what I would recommend is setting up a business manager for your Facebook, on your Facebook, and then within that, there's a whole bunch of tools that are really, really useful. And one of them is Ads Manager, and you can. Sorry, go on.
What's the business manager? Is it like an app or?
It's more like a dashboard, maybe like a suite of tools you'd call it, because you've got, things like audience insights in there, which you can do some research onto, sizes of audiences. You've got, you can manage your pixels, which is a bit more sort of advanced, but you can, which is basically something for tracking, customers and what they do. And there's probably 20 different tools within that sort of business manager that really help you manage your business.
And that's like available in every Facebook account, or do you need some special account for that?
No. So yeah, it's available on every account. Yeah, just need to sort of open it up. Yeah.
Okay, so we find like we start an ad there, and I guess we can pick the ad type, like a Facebook offer ad, right?
It'd be a traffic ad initially, and then in the ad set you can actually choose. You can turn into an offer ad.
Okay, and so what's next? Like, what does Facebook need from me to basically to get it running?
Facebook just needs like a budget. how much you want to spend per day. In that, obviously, where you need to test it a little bit, depending on how many coupons you want to give away.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will need like a schedule from you. You need to set the schedule of the ad, which again,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how long you're running it for. And then it will need you to set up the offer, which is the creative, so like the ad image,
Mm-hmm.
like a title, some text, terms and conditions, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll need to put your link in there, which your storefront URL, etc. And then you'll also need to put your codes in there, which you just download a CSV file within this whole business manager sort of setup, and then put your codes in, upload it, and it does it all for you.
So the codes I get from the Seller Central,
Yeah,
right? So what is it, like a normal promotion that is set up there with unique coupon codes
yeah,
with the
yeah,
discount?
percentage off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What percentage would you recommend?
I've been trialing 75% in my recent launches, which has worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to that number because that was for my product, how that I was launching on this occasion. It was sort of break even. I was giving Amazon a penny every time I sold a product,
Mm-hmm.
because of I got 25% of the product in revenue, and that covered the fees minus a penny. So for me, it
Mm-hmm.
was a case of I can pretty much launch at just the expense of the ad cost.
Okay. And what's your experience with reviews? Like if you give a 75% discount, will you still get verified reviews on this
Not
topic?
verified, no, no. They do allow them, and I've got a couple. Just having run that campaign a week or two ago, I've got a couple that have come up now.
Mm-hmm.
Some reviews, and they're there, but they're not verified.
But you do get reviews, right? From
Yeah,
customers. So if a customer buys at a 75% discount, they can still leave a review and it will be
yeah,
shown.
yeah.
Okay, nice. All right. So do you have any like tips on how to create the banner and what to put on the ad and like I don't know, best offer of all times, super discount, or how are you doing
Yeah.
it?
I think it depends on how much of a discount you're giving away.
Mm-hmm.
If you are just doing, like if you're doing a big discount, like for me, 75% off is a big enough discount to just
Mm-hmm.
lead with the price and lead with the discount. And then you just try and make it as clear as possible that it's 75% off.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously a nice big sort of picture of the product. You can use free tools like Canva is
Mm-hmm.
quite a popular one, or obviously Photoshop, things like that to create them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but if you're trying to do a lower discount, if you're testing 50% off, 40% off, something like that, then you might want to invest more into that sort of image, or even potentially do a video that
Mm-hmm.
shows the product being used. Videos tend to get a higher engagement and lower ad cost on Facebook. So
Mm-hmm.
like I say, if
Mm-hmm.
you're giving a large discount away, just lead with the discount, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody loves discount.
Okay. So what about the targeting? Like,
Mm.
do you target, do you pick targets by interests on Facebook or target a custom audience, or what works best?
Yeah, definitely interests. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
again, the more you're giving away, the more discount you're offering, the less targeted you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it's only a small amount, you need to know that the people really want your product.
Mm-hmm.
But most people that are vaguely interested in something will take something quite cheap. So, yeah, I mean, we do target for 75% off. In the UK, I was targeting audiences of, I think it was around 2 or 3 million. So, not small in the last decent sized audiences.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you like pay per click on those ads or?
Yes, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. It's through each link click. So on the offer ad, it says like get offer,
Mhm.
and every time someone clicks on that, then that's when you pay. Yeah,
And how does it work for a customer? Like they click on this get offer button and then the coupon code is shown.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
then they just need to sort of copy the code, and it
Mm-hmm.
gives them the link to go to follow, which directs them. It depends on how you set it up. Usually, how I set it up is to my storefront, but it's the
Mm-hmm.
only product that shows up because you used the keyword to narrow it down,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, then they can go into that and put the coupon code in at checkout.
What's your experience? Does this help the storefront URL with the keyword? Does it help to rank for the keyword?
I haven't tried it without, so I can't
Mm-hmm.
sit here and say it does. I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
want to sort of waste all of that energy and effort doing a launch without. I mean, I know the very first product I launched, I mean, it was a long time ago now, but I didn't know about keywords and I didn't know about super URLs. And I just gave, as many away as I could to as many of my friends as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And it certainly did help, boost the BSR at least, which was what I thought was the, the big number back then. And,
Mm-hmm.
again, not knowing about keyword ranking. So, I mean, it does give it a boost, but everyone in the space will tell you that a
Mm-hmm.
targeted URL will
Mm-hmm.
definitely help.
Okay, just for our listeners who don't know what a storefront URL is,
Mm.
basically if you open any of your products on Amazon and then click on your seller name, like somewhere near the buy box and near the price, it says like sold by 123 and shipped by Amazon. So if you click on 123, if that's your seller name, then you kind of see your seller profile, and there's a link there to which is called something like storefront. If you click on it, then you see basically a page with all of your products, and now you can enter your keyword uh, into the search box, and then click search. So it will search for this keyword only inside of your Amazon store, and you need to pick a keyword which gives you exactly one result, and then this is basically the URL that you need to put into your ad, right? Is there anything else you need to do with it, like remove a code, the QID or something, or you just copy paste this URL?
Yeah, I just copy paste it. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so basically, like what happens if the customer claims the code but then doesn't buy? Is the code then put back into the list, or how does it work, or is it just wasted more or
No.
less?
Yeah, it's wasted. Obviously, yeah,
Mhm.
you just have to manage that. And again, this is the thing with Facebook is what you sacrifice. You gain a lot with it, but what you sacrifice is that element of control. Say if you
Mhm.
use a launch service, you say I want to give away
Mhm.
13 units
Yeah.
every day. They
Mhm.
do exactly that,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
but this you do lose a little bit of that control. But what I found is that extra juice that Amazon gives the ranking because you're sending outside traffic makes up for any times when it doesn't
Yeah.
quite hit the numbers you wanted. So what I tend to do, the recent launch I did was a relatively small launch. We were just giving sort of 6 units a day away over 8 days. And so I actually did, I created for each day, I allowed there to be 20 clicks on the
Mhm.
campaign,
Mhm.
which generally tends to lead to about 10 to 12 people actually claiming the offer,
Mhm.
which then tends to lead to around 5 or 6 people actually buying. So those were the
Wow.
numbers that I worked on.
So, okay, obviously that depends on the product and on the discount and
Yeah.
also on the
Yeah.
target group, but that's an awesome conversion, I believe, right? So it's like from 20 clicks, you have
Yeah.
five sales, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think they know what they're buying when they click on it, so
Mhm.
they know what the price is going to be. They know what the product is, so
Mhm.
there's definitely an intent there. So
Mhm.
um, it's yeah, I mean, my conversion with it wouldn't be 25% normally. So
Mhm.
but yeah, it's good, but it's just obviously when people run their own campaigns, they just need to test early on
Yeah.
what those numbers for are them, because that you wouldn't want to extrapolate those figures out if you're giving away 100 units and say,
Mhm.
well, I'm going to create 400 coupons a day, or sorry,
Mhm.
allow 400 clicks a day with 200 coupons, because 175 might go.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
depends on. You just need to
Okay.
test that bit.
So, well, let me like summarize if I got it right. So you cannot control how many coupons you will give away every day because you pay per click, and they click kind of before they get the coupon, or is it the same?
And
Or
control you can control the number of clicks, so yeah,
and
you can't control.
every click is automatically a coupon code, right?
No,
Mhm.
no. They there's only because they have to actually they click the link get offer, and then they actually sort of then read more about it, and they actually have to sort of claim the offer,
Okay.
and go through to the website for it to count as it being claimed. So
Oh.
there's a number of ways you can control it. You can set like a total number of offers available,
Mhm.
which is like for the whole campaign, and then you can create some daily controls.
Mhm.
You can actually create rules within your Facebook ad to pause the ad when you hit a certain number of clicks.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that gives you a bit more control.
Okay. So the way I would do it, I guess, is I would kind of create, I don't know, maybe 100 codes, and then
Hmm.
start an ad and give it a budget. And then you need to measure, and maybe you limit the number of clicks on the first day, or limit the budget so that you don't run out of money on your first day. If it hits like, I don't know, if it goes up like a rocket, then you wanna have a budget limit somewhere. But then you can measure. You kind of see, okay, from 100 clicks I got, which I paid like, I don't know, £25 for, $25 or maybe $50. I got like, I don't know, 10 people claiming the code, and this led to a sale or a tool or whatever. By the way, how do you track whether a person who bought the product came through this ad?
You can't. I mean, you can't do that from the way you set it up like this. You can go into your reports in your Amazon account and go to reports fulfilled by Amazon, and then all orders, and then you'll get like a CSV file, and you can see the when a code has been used or a discount code has been used that way. You can't see it from the Facebook system though.
Okay, all right, I get it. But I believe we have a report in Seller Board in Seller Board. We have a section called reports, and there's a report which shows you all the orders. And guys, but by the way, we have the coupon code there as well, so you can also download this one and then filter by the coupon code, and then you can see kind of how many you sold through this ad on which day.
Brilliant.
Right. Okay. I get it. So do you have like an order of magnitude? How much budget do I need to generate? I don't know, maybe let's say if my target is 10 sales a day. So what would be a good number of pounds or dollars to spend on Facebook using this today?
I mean, it is a really, I don't want to sound like a politician, but it's a really tough question because you are, there's so many variables, right? Discount given, demand for the product, how good your ad is, how good your targeting is, so many different variables. But I mean, I think, on the campaigns I've been running recently, we've been looking at around 10 to 12p UK pence per click. And then, so if every 4 clicks, say, would result in someone actually buying the product at the discount, so you're looking at around 50p per sale. So that's what we've been sort of running on and testing. So that's obviously with a 75% discount and a product that got sort of pretty decent demand. So yeah, I mean, that maybe gives someone a guide to go from.
Okay, so basically, if we're looking at I don't know what the current conversion rate is between pounds and dollars, but I guess so if we're spending $1 to generate 1 sales with Facebook with a huge discount or pretty big discount, then we should be like roundabout fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think $1 might be maybe a bit expensive. If you're giving a big discount, you could probably do a sale for less than $1. But yeah, it's maybe a guide to work on.
But that's nice. So basically, we can okay. Obviously, giving such a huge discount probably also cost us in terms of the cost of goods, right? Or are you looking for a break-even point, including the cost of goods?
No, I mean, mine on those 75%, my break even was just on the fees.
Okay.
So that in terms of cash flow, we're not paying out money to Amazon. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you want to test that, I mean, I think a lot of people, if you target it right, 50% off is still an attractive offer. You might pay a little bit more for your Facebook ads. That's obviously where you need to measure what's going to be more profitable. It might turn out that 75, 70, 80% is more profitable because you pay less for your Facebook ads. So it just needs testing.
I think it's what I like about this is that you're targeting like new vanilla customers on Facebook and not the guys who signed up for some discount service, right? So if you're using a launch service, they have a kind of a target group, and these are the users that are kind of getting all the deals, right? And I think they tend to be blocked for new reviews and even maybe marked as, I don't know, suspicious or whatever. So this way you can really find your own new customer base. So I like that. Tell me, how does this compare to launching through PPC only? So why would you like do all this instead of just, I don't know, maybe starting an aggressive PPC campaign and or you can't distribute coupons through PPC, right?
No, you can't, but you can do. I mean, you can run a like a voucher in the UK. It's called a voucher.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the US it's called coupons. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like the flash sort of thing next to the product. And you know, I haven't actually tested it myself, but you know, there is a strategy that you could run aggressive PPC and say do like a 50% off, you know, voucher, which is pretty huge
Mm-hmm.
for those vouchers. So you know, that then it's going to really help with those conversions. I mean, an aggressive PPC launch is something you can do, but it can get expensive, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and so it just depends what your budget is. But
Mm-hmm.
it gives you a lot of really great data, you know, to work with early on. And
Mm-hmm.
I would always do like a relatively aggressive PPC launches
Mm-hmm.
at the same time because of the data it gives.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Facebook is, you know, the Facebook ads, it just does give you that ranking juice really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you know, the thing I do love about it is that you can take it that one step further and really collect customer information and
Mm-hmm.
build, you know, build that customer list. So.
That's awesome. Let's talk about that. So how do we do that?
I mean, there's two main ways. You can either use the strategy that we've talked about, and then one extra step that you need to add in is rather than sending the customer directly to your product, you send them to a landing page.
Mm-hmm.
You can use like a software service for this, or on your own website, and you know, you just ask them for their email to deliver the code. It is going to affect your conversion rates a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
again, if you set it up right, it shouldn't do it too much. And then obviously you build an email list.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other way is you can actually use you can do sort of very basic sort of pixel user, like a pixel service where the user goes through like a pixel, like a website that actually pixels the user, which basically means I'm sure all of your listeners have heard of it before, but it's something that basically then tracks the movement of that buyer through the website, through Amazon, and whether they purchase, and it means you can actually then you know, run some ads back to them. You can do
Mm-hmm.
something called retargeting ads.
Retargeting. Yeah.
Yeah, so once they've showed an intent about your product, you can then actually advertise some of your brand's other products, or
Mm-hmm.
you can even, really powerful is you can actually run review generation ads back to them. You know, you can run
Yeah.
ads, you know, did you purchase this product? What did you think? You can engage with the customer in that way. So that's another simple way. And then, of
So
course, there's like ManyChat, you know, chat bots that you can use as well.
I think this one is interesting. So I got it. Basically, you either direct them to your landing page,
Mhm.
or ManyChat. So what? How about ManyChat? Did you like? Do you have any experience using
Yeah,
this? How
yeah.
well does it work?
Yeah, it works really well. It's just it's quite technical, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, you need to set it up right and to you know, to make sure that you've got that sort of sense of control over it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's but it's great for building again a diverse. I'm trying to do both, you know, because I don't, you know, a lot of people saying, oh, email marketing is dead, and you know, build social media, but I don't necessarily think that's true. I think, you know, it's good to have both, and so we're trying to build our customer email list as well as
Mm-hmm.
you know, a big number of subscribers on our you know, ManyChat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how does this email and landing page thing I kind
Mm.
of understand, but how does ManyChat work? Like they see an ad and it says, okay, get a, I don't know, a product at a high discount.
Hmm.
Do they still click on like claim offer, or
No.
how does it? Mhm.
No, with ManyChat, it's not an offer ad. You just do a standard traffic ad,
Mhm.
and it actually the word has come out of my head. The target of where it sends the user, the end goal is like a
Mhm.
message,
Mhm.
and so
Okay,
then
I know what you mean. Yeah.
they
So
click send
the
message.
goal of the ad is a message, so to say. So you
Yeah,
want the
yeah.
user to send you a message.
Yeah, and then you set it up obviously automated through ManyChat. It's a flow, like a funnel that you send them through. You know, are you interested in this product? Yes. Here's the
Mhm.
discount code, and there's a number of ways you can set that up to deliver that coupon code. But then once they have engaged with your you know, your chatbot, then they're actually a subscriber to your
Mhm.
list there. Yeah.
So is there a way to put all those discount codes in the ManyChat so that it automatically picks one code per person?
Yeah, not directly into ManyChat. You can use Zapier, have you heard of, or Zapier, some people call
Mhm.
it, like an automation tool. And there's a couple of other I'm just testing at the moment, actually, like a couple of other sort of Amazon-related softwares that are potentially. I'm not sure exactly how well it's going to do it, but say that they can deliver a certain amount each day. And because the big thing with ManyChat is being able to limit the codes that you deliver each day. That's again, it's harder to have control. There is a workaround you can use, but it is quite technical and does mean a little bit of manual work as well, which is what we try and avoid.
Okay, so I think it's a topic for itself. But basically, what we're doing is we're creating an ad, a message ad. Then we want the user to send us a message. Then we automate the message flow in some way so that ManyChat replies to them, and then it delivers them a link with a discount or a coupon code or a code for like a one. I don't know how they're called. These codes that are not personalized, but like one discount code for which is valid for everybody.
It is a single use code. Yeah.
Okay.
So with if you go the Zapier route, then you just upload all of your coupon codes into a Google sheet, and then the Zap then calls the Google sheet to retrieve a code and then delivers it to the customer through ManyChat, which you can integrate that in your ManyChat.
Okay, so at the end, the customer clicks on a link, goes to our Amazon page, buys the product at a discount, and we end up having this customer as a subscriber to a page, or how? What is this?
Yeah. So then your page, so you run it through a Facebook page, so your brand's Facebook page. So then, they're a subscriber to your chatbot, and so you can then market them with future products. And that's what I say to my students is, that's why I encourage people to build a brand, because then every launch you do gets cheaper and cheaper, because you don't have to pay for the ads again, because they're already a bought-in subscriber, and if you source good products, then they're going to want to buy from you again.
Nice. Interesting. So, look, I think that sounds like an interesting strategy to me, in a very like, it's not obvious. Obviously, you need to do some work. It's a little bit technical. It's not like using a launch club, but on the other hand, you're building your list, and that's an asset. And as you said, it gets cheaper and cheaper every time. So I like this. Maybe we can do another video on this and talk about this in more detail sometime.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so Ben, we're running out of time. Tell us, where can we find you?
I live in Manchester, so I probably won't give out my address, but no, you can. I'm on YouTube, just Ben Donovan, and on Instagram as well, Ben Donovan UK, and I've got a Facebook group. If anybody's interested in selling in the UK or Europe, we've got a UK sort of focused Facebook group too, which you can find on there as well. So,
all right, so we'll link all these resources in the description. Ben, thanks so much for coming. This was very, very insightful and interesting.
All right, thanks so much for having me.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. So what do you think, guys? Did you like it? I think it was interesting. What are your experiences with launching on Facebook? Please let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button if you like this video. Check out sellerboard.com. There's a free 1-month trial, and have a great day. Bye-bye.